Hi, my name is Eugene, and it is the next episode of Just a Thought podcast, a show about software development, innovation, technology, business, and startups, brought to you by JetApp, software development agency from Ukraine. And today we are gonna discuss IoT outsourcing. So make sure you like the video, hit the subscription button, and let's go! Actually, IT outsourcing isn't something new or extraordinary for many businesses today. But many entrepreneurs still have doubts about building their Internet of Things products overseas. In fact, outsourcing IoT development is just another domain of IT outsourcing, and all the anxiety, all the fuss and doubts about developing your IoT product overseas actually pointless. In fact, 80% of companies don't have enough IoT development expertise to fully capitalize on their business opportunities, which is why hiring an external help is always an essential option. And such a heavy reliance on third-party expertise isn't something extraordinary, in fact, because it suggests that businesses can rely on outsourcing companies and resolve any of their IoT development challenges. And when I'm talking about IoT development outsourcing, I mean that you can outsource anything, and hardware manufacturing in the first place. Of course, it does not relate to software development, which we have expertise in, but I think hardware part is an essential component of IoT products. So let's talk about hardware development outsourcing in the first place. The first reason why you should outsource manufacturing of your IoT devices is simple. It's cost effectiveness, because building the whole manufacturing site and relatable infrastructure just for building even a couple of IoT product lines is way too expensive. Instead, you can just order manufacturing of the same devices overseas for much lower cost. So building your own manufacturing site for creating your IoT devices means literally barking up the wrong tree. The second important factor that plays in favor of outsourcing your IoT hardware manufacturing is timeliness of your market opportunity. Because building your own manufacturing site takes a long time, and by the time when you finish building your manufacturing infrastructure, your market opportunity will fade away, especially under the circumstances of such tense competition and constant innovation and tech market disruptions. Relying on a third party may cause some risks with supply chain, but these risks are not as high as waiting way too long till your manufacturing infrastructure is ready to work, because you're much more likely to lose your market opportunity. And the third reason is flexibility of your research and development team. Imagine you decided to hire an in-house research and development team that works on your unique invention of your IoT product. And after some research, they come up with a ready product concept, and you start developing it. So your R&D team doesn't have any job to do anymore, but they are your in-house employees, and you still have to pay them salary. Instead, you can outsource your research and development, and hire relatable experts and talents only when they really need them. That's much more flexible and, again, cost-effective. So, I don't see any sound reasons to rely heavily on your in-house hardware development. Because you just have to be fussy like J5, well-known street food chef from Bangkok, who doesn't lend anyone meddle with her cooking business. But it's another story. Okay, we are done with hardware part. Let's talk about software. So, the first and the foremost advantage of IoT development outsourcing is actually application development. Because you may have a fully developed hardware infrastructure, but still lack expertise in software development. And that's where IT outsourcing vendors can really help. For instance, JetApp had a client from Switzerland who created a huge network of electric vehicles charging stations across Europe. But the stations had a problem with their connectivity and reporting their status in real time. But the company didn't have a relatable tech expertise in IoT app development, which is why they turned up to JetApp. As a result, we helped them. We've built a web admin panel for the company. We created another web admin panel for the business customers of the company who decide to buy electric vehicle charging stations in their countries. And for end users, car owners, they got a convenient mobile application where they see the map with the nearest charging stations, their connectivity status, and their availability. So in such a way, you can come to IoT development outsourcing partner and request a complete full cycle development of any application you need to control your hardware. Well, let's imagine you have a strong tech team of software developers who really know what they are doing. But for some reason your team lacks people who are no stranger to creative solutions in building convenient and no-brainer user interfaces and user experience designs. That's why outsourcing UI UX designers for building your IoT product is a very effective way. Let's see one more example. One of JetApp clients had a really cool concept of IoT solution for buildings. It is a building energy management system that collects the data from heating, ventilation, air conditioning, electricity consumption, and adjusts power and energy consumption in the building to reduce utility cost and carbon emissions footprint. But the system appeared to be way too complicated, and the startup didn't have an experienced UI UX designer who could simplify the entire system without sacrificing any user flows or even separate features. As a result, our UI and UX designer, in cooperation with our business analyst, did several brainstorming sessions and came up with effective solutions how the entire system became user-friendly and easy to use by third parties, which was, by the way, very essential for the client. So the client remained happy and raised 4 million euros at the preceding round. The next advantage of hiring an outsourced IoT development team overseas is cloud support. Because finding a DevOps specialist who really knows what they're doing nowhere in it, and by the way, is really hard, and delegating support of your cloud infrastructure to a qualified professional is a reasonable thing to do, because in case anything goes wrong, you have a person who can fix it just like in a couple of minutes without a problem, and all your IoT infrastructure won't suffer, and your clients, after all, won't be angry with you. Come on. And of course, I have to mention data security as one more advantage of outsourcing IoT development. Because security of IT devices is somewhat a delicate topic to discuss, but you won't argue that data security is particularly important with connected devices. So you have to find relatable talent who has enough expertise skills to make sure that your IoT product is well protected from any attacks and data leaks. And very often you can't find a much needed expert in your area, so why don't you look all around the globe? For example, Ukraine has the largest pool of IT security talents, which is why Ukraine ranks first in the list of top-level digital security expertise in the entire world. And when it comes to a discussion of IoT development, it's essential to say a couple of words about testing and quality assurance, because not only software part is important, but hardware again plays the primary role, because if hardware doesn't connect with software, the entire IoT product just doesn't make sense, doesn't make any use. And we have one more example. We have a client from France who produces power bank rental platforms for offices, co-workings and various businesses. And they had a ready-made concept of hardware, and our company was working on development of software part, web admin panel and mobile application for end users. But we had to test how hardware connects with the software part. And the project took place during the peak of the coronavirus pandemic. And because of problems with hardware delivery, we had to find the way how we could test it. So our business analyst proposed a very tricky yet working way to create a small digital emulator that would imitate the work of the hardware. So we did it and tested the entire software part successfully. And when the real hardware came to us, we tested it once again, and no more bugs were revealed, because the emulator imitated the hardware with 100% precision. So hiring testing and QA team to support quality of your product is essential and effective way as well. For the same reason, it's quite wise to look for talents for data analytics and artificial intelligence, because many IoT devices rely heavily on collecting data and processing it in a smart way. and hiring a relatable talent can make sense for your project. And again, you don't have to look just within your borders. You can look all around the world and find skilled talent that will match your team as if they work in your office. So I believe we have covered quite a lot of advantages and reasons why you should outsource your IoT product overseas. And you can find all necessary talents in one company. It's JetApp. We have 7 years of IoT development, and we have worked on various projects for different industries and different businesses of different scales. So don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll be happy to discuss your project and assist you with bringing your IoT product idea to life. So it was just a short podcast about IoT development outsourcing. My name is Eugene. So stay tuned for the next episodes. Bye!